Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Help for HDTV. Today we have Ashley on with us, and Ashley just started a brand new blog. So we are going to talk all about what she's doing. We've been dear friends for many years. Obviously, back when my husband's journey first started, Ashley and I became friends. So this is really exciting for me to be able to interview her and have her on Help for HD because she's an inspiration, amazing human, beautiful person. Let's start by you just telling us a little bit about HD in your life.
All right, let's see. I'll start with I decided to get gene tested when I turned 18. My mom had passed away when I was 13, and my brother had already gotten tested before. He's 10 years older. We had the same mom, different dads, and he decided to get tested. And so when I turned 18, I decided I wanted to be tested, which was a big deal at the time. A lot of people tried to talk me out of it, but I was just convinced that I wanted to know just to better prepare what's in store, if I had it or not. And so my brother tested negative, but yes, I ended up testing positive when I turned 18. And I had a whole big group of my family and friends there to support me with that. And after that, got plugged right into the HDSA and just fell in deep and full force into the HDSA. I went to all the events and got plugged in with all the fundraisers. I helped with everything. That was a big deal for me in my life, and just meeting people and just realizing you're not alone in this journey. That was huge. 9 years ago, though, however, I was officially diagnosed symptomatic. Obviously, that was a whole other course in my life. It was a bit difficult. I was just like 30 years old, and so is a lot. I didn't realize. I knew I would be getting it younger because my count is so high. It's 49, but just you never think, oh, it's coming. So that was pretty hard for me, just trying to stay healthy and managing things the best I can. I'm always trying to work on eating healthy and working out and all those things that make me happy.
The first time we met was at a walk you were hosting,
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention that also.
and I couldn't believe your family and friends. Like half of the walk was Ashley's family and friends of attendance. You have so much support and so many people that love you and your amazing husband. I was just blown away about how special not only you were, but how special your whole family and your support system was.
Yes. Yeah, the walk. Oh, yeah. That I was going to mention too, because I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's when we first met. I'm pretty sure we met before that, but you came to the walk. I do have what the doctors like to refer to as my full squad. It's always there in full force, no matter they come through it all, thick and thin. I'm very grateful. But yes, they are. That was also the big deal too. When I started the walk for the first 5 years in Sacramento, that was like so amazing because I held it in my, neighborhood I grew up with. So obviously my friends and my family got plugged in and involved. And that was a very big deal. So it was really cool bringing awareness. Those are always my favorite memories in my life. Those were so special. And I always loved that every year we would have new families that would come and we just got to just extra love on them. Or even one of my favorite stories from the walk side was I remember this lady Lisa and her family was there, and she was getting farther along, but we had all the cars along the walk and we had the car show going there, and she was like, oh, wanted to go for a ride in my dad's friend's Corvette, this red Corvette. She loved it. And I'm like, girl, I know you and me both. That's my favorite one. And so my dad, and of course, went over and asked his best friend, and he took her for a ride through the park, and we got all these pictures. And she was just grinning from ear to ear. It was like just those little things have just such a big impact in my life now, even.
Yeah.
It's been so nice because unlike Katie, I've only really seen you virtually and met a couple of times briefly at Help for HD event. And I'm like, you're just such an inspiration and your positivity, and you're just so kind. Just you exude kindness. And I just really appreciate that. So I've really enjoyed watching you over the years and the things that you're doing. And most recently, actually, Katie was the one who brought it to my attention, your newest blog. And so if you can tell us and everyone listening a little bit about your blog, why you named your blog, what you did, what the name of your blog is, and tell us the inspiration behind that would be great.
Yes, my blog. Wow. I just have always been wanting to just have a place for people to have me sharing what I'm going through, the good and the bad. I don't want to sugarcoat things and hide things from people. I wanted tell people the truth, what's going on, because I've been symptomatic for 9 years, and there's been a lot of good and bad, and how things I've done that helped me in all of that, the people that helped me with those things, the community I'm so blessed to have and just grateful for. But I wanted to just also bring light and laughter, love, just a little hope too. It's always my big thing, just hoping people could leave with a little awareness, but hope too, for anybody, HD, or bringing awareness to people who don't know about it. So that's why I started the blog. The name, I went down the rabbit hole. I wrote a bunch of ideas out, and I kept going through them and back and forth and asking everybody. First, we had one name, and it said Wiggling Warrior. And everyone loved that one. Wiggling Warrior. And I'm like, I said, then half the people said, yes, they like Wiggling. That's funny because of HD and everything else. But everyone else said no because it's the Wiggles, like the little kids show. So we had a good laugh about that one. And I'm like, why not something like with the dance? Because it translates for the Korea. That's what it means. It's called the dance. And so I said, and I love to dance. So I was like, why not? That's better. So then we came up the dancing warrior, yes, with HD. That's how we got to that. It was
I
a
love
long.
that. It's just like super simplistic but also a little bit of what does that mean? A little intriguing.
Yes.
It's a great title.
And the
do you-
warrior, people always refer to me as their little warrior. So
Yeah.
that's where that came from.
Absolutely. Do you have an idea of how frequently you will be updating your blog, or is it just a free for all when you feel like it?
Yeah, I was hoping to do every other week, but yes, also, as my husband also tells me, you can't make it on a schedule. With Huntington's, I also just need to do things like from the heart when I feel like it, and that way it's full of heart and meaning and not just out there putting out as
Right.
fast as I can. But yes,
That's a good point.
yeah.
That's a
So
really
we'll
good
see.
I have a last question for you, but before I ask that question, you did something that most humans do not do ever in their life. So can you please tell us, because I think it's so incredible and amazing, what you did with horses?
Uh, let's see. Since I was 10 years old until 3 years ago, I had done acrobatics on horses. It's called equestrian vaulting, so gymnastics on horseback. Yes, and it's all choreographed to music. I used to compete all over and perform all over, and yes, I've gotten to do some pretty big things in my life with the horses. So that was a very big part of my life.
And that's also incorporating in the title of your blog with dancing. I'm like, that's just a whole nother talking point. That's pretty cool.
Must have taken a huge trust in your horse.
Yes. Oh man. That does take a lot of trust. I know those horses, so I love them. It's funny though, because on that note, it made me think of this memory of my mom, because she was very symptomatic in a wheelchair, but she loved skiing. That was her passion, just always the snow. And we go up to the snow all the time, and we wheeled her in her wheelchair, and she'd come back down the mountain fine without any problems. But it was just muscle memory. And so then I would think to myself, I'm guessing a lot of that had to do with that. Obviously, just God blessing me with those abilities.
So I'm going to answer. Our theme this month has been love is. And so I will ask you the question for you in our HD journey in our HD community. My final question, love is
all my family, my husband, my friends that used to come out in full support. They've been there die hard with me, like in everything I do, always for everything. And I just couldn't have done any of it without them, to laugh or cry or whatever, a little both. They're always been there for me, especially my husband, because he's just been having to deal with a lot that's been going on in the last couple of years too.
I remember when I got to first meet you both, and you guys were both so young. I was like, oh my gosh, they're so young. But you guys were young and in love, that is for sure. And man, he stood by your side. How old were you guys when you got married?
22. And he's 7 years older than me. So yes, I know. My older husband.
I
I
was almost really. I was almost like, yeah, I have him beat. I was almost expecting Love Is, and I was just expecting Ashley to be like Amy.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love her, that girl. I'm like, I don't know what I would do without that girl in my life. She is, oh yeah. I've literally been talking to her like every day, like 27 times a day. Yeah.
You guys are like soul sisters.
Yeah, we are. I love that girl so much. I know. So yeah, she was like, "Oh, I hope everything goes good today." Guess I'll keep you posted.
We will send her the link. So much for coming on with us, Ashley. It was a great show. Everyone, make sure you follow her blog, The Dancing Warrior. It's on Facebook. You can always find the blog on Facebook on Ashley's page, but we are going to post her blog too. So when her blog comes out, a new blog, we will put it on Help for HD for people to read it and to be able to not miss it. It's going to be inspiring, I'm sure, if I know Ashley. I think that will do it for today. You guys, please do not forget to this video and to subscribe to the channel below and ring the bell for notifications when more videos like this come out. Until next time.